What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Two Game Podcast, where we are diving into every episode of Andor Season 2. We are here to review episodes 4, 5, and 6. If you have not been following along with us, we have reviewed every episode of Season 1 and then Season 2 up to this point. There's maybe, other hand, a link somewhere up here. Click that link and it'll take you to the playlist of all of our Andor bullshit. Okay, go join us. Go play it. Go like it. Subscribe. Do all that bullshit. Really helps us out. And without further ado, this point forward, full spoilers. Okay, we're gonna be talking about all the main storylines within Andor season 2. And if you have not been caught up or following along, this is your opportunity to pause and then come back. So full spoilers.
And I need to jump in because I have two fun facts that one was from the last arc that I completely missed and then rewatched it and saw it. And the other one's going to blow your mind, Primo. But from the last arc that we just saw in episode 2, I believe, when it might have been episode 3. It doesn't matter. When Cassian's leaving the jungle planet and he takes off in the TIE fighter and he flies away. What planet was that? That was Yavin 4.
It's Yavin 4. You see the temples when he's flying away.
You see the temples in the background where... Yeah.
I remember thinking of that when I was first watching it, and I completely forgot about it.
I saw it, and I blanked. I was like, "Ooh, I know that." And then I blanked out and just completely forgot about it. And then I was just scrolling the Facebooks one day, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's the connection." Completely forgot.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah.
I think they have another one in episode 5. We can talk about that later with Saul. His little base.
And then number 2, Primo. There is an actress in this series that is in another property that you and I both watch.
I thought you said that this wasn't it. It was somebody different.
No. It's this person. I had the other property mixed up.
Oh. All right.
Deidre. Does her voice sound familiar to you?
Not particularly.
She is Yennefer in Witcher 3, the video game.
It's her.
For the audio listeners out there, this is me with question marks around my head trying to imagine that voice again. Is it really?
It is.
Yeah. It's her.
Wow. Yeah. I now gotta go play the game a little bit to catch her back up on that because I never would have made that connection.
Yeah, I saw an interview with her and what's his name? Your favorite actor in this series. Ben.
My favorite actor, Bix?
No. The general guy.
Oh, Ben Middleton.
Yeah, Ben Middleton. She was interviewing with him, and he was like, "You're in The Witcher, right?" She goes, "Yeah, I was. I played Yennefer," and I'm like, "No, you did not." And then I realized they were talking about the video game, not the TV show.
Spoiler alert for who's my favorite character right now. All right, so we're going to jump into the 4-ish main storylines that we got going on here. We got Bix and Cassian, and then we're going to talk about Luthen, and we're going to throw in Martha in there as well. She's not really prevalent too much in this arc. And then we'll talk briefly about Val and Cinta, and then Deidre, Cyril, and the Gormans. We'll kind of group all those at the back end. So let's just go ahead and get Bix and Cassian out the way. Because, look, I said it a second ago, Bix is my favorite character right now. Just from a character standpoint. Maybe not so much as... Like, Luthen is obviously the guy that I can't wait to see on screen because I never know what's going to happen with that dude or what kind of shit he's going to say on those lines, you know? So I love Luthen, but the character work for Bix is just so good to me. I just want to say that we're going through this arc and I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, God damn, dude. Like, she gets tortured. She almost gets raped. Now she's a fucking substance abuser. Like, guys, why do y'all hate her so much?
Yeah, when she whips that bad boy out, I did not think we were getting that in Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm anticipating her dying very soon.
For sure.
Well, she's not in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Well, I know. So she's gonna have to die, and how is she gonna die? Is she gonna be an overdose, a suicide? I mean,
Do you think that they're going to continue the storyline of the substance abuse? Because I loved what they did with episode 6 at the very end. She gets her revenge on Dr. Gorse, and I was so fucking happy about that. I'm like, hell yeah, man. Y'all have just been putting her through the ringer this entire season so far, and now she finally gets one up on them. But two things. One, I like it from a standpoint of getting her back on track and kind of pushing that narrative kind of forward, and it's being good for her character. But from the perspective of me, who kind of wishes that they would have made that kind of drawn out, it felt rushed at the very end. But I really love that Cassian did not help her with her revenge. He kind of stayed off into the background as well, and she handles everything. She comes out, and he just blows up the thing, and that's it. Love that.
We're gonna get into rushed when we start talking about Mon. But I like that they let her run this show on this one, but I don't want it to fix her.
Agreed.
I don't want this one instance of revenge going, okay, I'm all better now. Like, I think if anything, it's going to fuck her up more. And I think that's going to lead to her eventual demise.
That's what I'm thinking too. She's going to get caught up in something because of this and get killed eventually.
She's going to eventually die. I think it'll be, honestly, it'd probably be in the back arc, if I had to assume. The last 3 episodes.
It's definitely going to be in the last arc.
But I agree with you, Nick. I hope it doesn't. It's just not a light flipping a switch of a light where she's now cured of all substance abuse and all that shit. I feel like you've already introduced it, and to introduce it in 2 episodes and then just completely get rid of it after that would feel a little cheap to me. A little cheap.
Right.
I agree with you.
I did like the way she killed old Doctor, though, doing the exact same thing to him, quoting him on everything. And the entire time he's like, who the fuck are you? Do I know you? And then at the very end, he's like, oh shit.
But again, that scene just, it flew by. Because it was in like the last, it was like the last 3 or 4 minutes of the episode.
It did, but they were setting it up.
Yeah.
And you had to really pay attention because they're what's his name? The colonel, not the head guy.
Oh.
I'm horrible with names right now. Game of Thrones.
I was gonna say the guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yes,
him. Okay, so he hands it off to the spy that is working with Luthen as an Imperial officer, and he goes, "Hey, y'all need to babysit him because the Navy's taking the Doctor. Y'all need to make sure they don't ruin him." And then the Imperial spy turns to his coworker and goes, "Hey, you're running this show. I got other shit to do. So you follow it up." And then he turns around and walks away. And he went to go tattle on Luthen and going, "Hey, the Doctor's going to go here. This is your chance."
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I had to, after the episodes, I end up going back and kind of like reading a recap just to make sure that I'm on like the same wavelength as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, that did fucking happen. And like you said, you gotta be fucking paying attention.
You do, because they set it up. And if you weren't watching, if you really weren't focused, then you missed the fact that is how Bix and Cassian knew where the Doctor was going to be.
Because they're looking out the window and they see the thing flash and they're like, "Oh, Luthen's got a new mission for you." And then next thing you see,
Luthen has
she's
a mission.
killing the Doctor.
Yep.
But the stuff with Cassian, really great as well. Bix is still, like, to me, I love what they're doing with her character, and she's just like we've said, we don't. She's not going to survive the series, so it sucks that we're gonna get her better, possibly just to have her be killed off. Maybe like a redemption arc. I don't know per se. But Cassian,
I loved Cassian in the second episode or in the fifth episode.
Yeah, that's really his undercover. What's it, Sky?
Where he's like
Valyrian
where
Sky.
he's playing like Mission Impossible. He's like, your mission, if you choose to accept it, this is your character. This is your character. This is your backstory.
Yeah, I have a note right here that says Mission Impossible.
Right.
Because that's exactly what it was.
He had his hair slicked back. He was all flamboyant like Luthen's character is whenever he's selling artifacts and stuff like that. He's got the hand waved out and he is full up in character. And I was like, holy shit, he's Luthen 2.0.
It's great because a year ago he wasn't keeping with like talking in code when they were on the radio, and then here we are a year later. He is like completely with it. Never drops it.
He's like, I need some linens to sample. And I need this and that and whatever else. I'm like,
that is a very good point, Brian. Because I totally forgot about the very beginning of this season where he's just like, fuck it, we're talking plain speech here, okay? And in this one, like he's full-fledged spy talking in code. And when people are kind of acting like he used to, he's getting on to them. He's like, y'all gotta chill the fuck out, bro. Like this is rushed. This isn't good. You're bringing attention to yourself. But like even the stuff
part
with
is
him
feeling it, it's getting away. That's the hard part. And y'all don't have a plan for that.
Right. The hard part is getting away, and you're not getting away. You're staying exactly where you're stealing this shit.
And he's even trying to tell them, like, this sounds like something that the Empire would want you to know.
From
like
you have an Imperial informant. They're really good at lying. They're really good at making up information. No, this is legit. We verified it.
But did you? I love this stuff in episode 6. Luthen and Cassian are kind of like at odds with each other. And it's on whether or not like the Gormans should be involved. You know, Cassian is definitely he's careful, a little bit more methodical and conservative in his approach. Whereas Luthen is more like calculating, dangerous, and aggressive with everything because he doesn't really give a shit how it hurts, who it hurts. He just wants the job done.
Well, and that's where I read it, and it's something that Luthen plays out this entire arc is damn the repercussions, damn the people, and like every conversation he has, every single person he talks to, whether it's Clea or Cassian or Mon, it's just the people don't matter. The objective is the only thing that matters. So who cares if the Gorman people suffer? Because all it is going to bring more light to the rest of the Republic or the rest of the Empire that, oh shit, the Emperor and the ISB and whoever else just destroyed an entire rich, very notable planet.
And he even mentions that in the conversation with Cassian because he goes, it doesn't matter to you, huh? Like, what if this all goes up in flames? And Luthen responds, then it's going to burn brightly. I'm like, it's going to burn brightly. That's fucking savage.
He's like, I want it to. I want everybody to die.
I want to watch this world burn.
And I do want to say, when Cassian first got to Gorman and he was talking to the little busboy or the bag person, whatever you call him.
Yep.
We did something, or I'm sorry, the show did something. They brought in legends, and they're also going to be bringing in canon, because in Legends, the Gorman massacre took place in 19 BBY, and that is the Tarkin massacre, or the Gorman massacre, where Tarkin lands a ship and kills everybody. And they mentioned that about 16 years ago that happened. So that we have the legend Gorman massacre now on canon. And I think they're setting up for 2 BBY being the canon Gorman massacre now.
Yeah.
You mean this next arc?
Next arc is
Or
going to
the
be
final
the
one?
canon. No, the next arc, because the final one's going to be 1 BBY. So,
Okay.
yeah, because this was 3, right? Or was this 4?
Yeah, this was 3BB1.
This was 3. So, yeah, next arc's going to be 2 BBY. That is when the Gorman massacre happens for canon. But the fact that they mentioned Legends Gorman massacre also, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know any of that legend stuff, sir. That is something I am not familiar with. But one thing that I want to go back to Bix for just a second, and I'm going to kind of combine Luthen with this, and we can kind of skirt right into Luthen's discussion. What is his end game? Because at this point in episode 6, he's kind of pitting Bix and Cassian together, or against each other, I should say. Now, we posed the question, is she going to die in the series? And 100%, I think it's going to happen. The question is, how?
Oh,
I
you think
mean,
Luthen's going to stage an overdose?
He
Little Breaking Bad action in there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Breaking Bad action.
I believe that Luthen is going to have a hand in her being killed. I think she's going to end up doing something, maybe either in this next arc. I feel like it would have to be in the next arc, or maybe the beginning of the last 3 episodes, where she just does something and it puts everything in jeopardy. And maybe it's the substance abuse going on. Maybe because don't comments in here, but substance abusers can't be trusted. They're very untrustworthy in shit like this, in dealing with like espionage and spies and shit like that. So
you think he's gonna have to handle a loose end on her?
Yes,
he might even frame it as
Luthen,
like the Empire did it to get Andor more like on board with some more of his like reckless stuff.
Or maybe Andor is planning on leaving the rebellion with Bix, and Luthen's like, no, he's too important. He's too important. Let's take her out.
I think that's very likely.
Around. Yeah.
And then possibly the final arc is him and Luthen coming at odds with each other, because Luthen isn't in Rogue One either.
Yeah, maybe.
So, dude, we got lots of puzzle pieces to move in a very short amount of time.
Which brings me to this shit is moving too fast. And we can move on to the next arc now. Let's talk about Mon for a second and Perrin. There was a very meta quote in this arc from Perrin when they're on the little cruiser going through Coruscant, where he says, "It's rough squeezing a whole year's worth of insincerity into 3 nights. It is hard because this season was supposed to be 5 seasons, and they've condensed the last 4 into 1 season, 3 episodes per season." And him saying it's hard, it was the director pretty much speaking through Perrin. It's hard to get 1 year's worth in 3 episodes.
I didn't even. I remember the line, but I didn't even that didn't register in my mind that would have been something like or a little nod.
And then Mon's retort was strictly from Disney, going, "You'll figure it out."
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
That's exactly what Disney said to Tony Gilroy.
You'll figure it out. Fuck you, Disney. Which we didn't get much of Mon in these 3 episodes. I think it was just episode 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Krennic, which that back and forth with Krennic was that was good.
Spicy. So I need to know, because I don't know from a lore standpoint, is there something there that I'm fucking missing between these two, or they just haven't got to that point yet? And we will kind of develop that relationship, because she's from Rebels, right?
She was only in a very small portion of Rebels,
because it was the same actress that played in that did the voice.
Yeah, but she was only in Rebels for the Gorman massacre. They the Rebels team transported her from Gorman to somewhere else.
Oh, because they're like, it's like a little tense between these two at this little party, and
Well,
I'm
she
like,
made, yeah,
is
I mean,
there like some kind of like backstory that I don't know of because I don't fucking pay attention to that shit or what?
well, I mean, she made the comment about it. It's good to see you when you're not on a witness stand.
Yes, yes, I had that note. I was like, what the fuck? What witness stand are we talking about here?
Because he works for the Empire, he's always killing people, and they're like, "Hey, come on in here and tell your side of the story. Why did all these people die?" And it's just like, well, you know,
Well, you know.
well, you know,
Well, you know. Also with the whole Martha thing, we have a recast of a prominent character. I don't know if y'all caught on to that.
Yes, I heard about this in advance, and I was able to prepare myself, and I really hope that they did not recast him for that 30 seconds on screen.
Yeah, because he doesn't
If
do
that
anything.
He doesn't. He is strictly an introduction into the events that are coming. So if he was only recast for 30 seconds, then it was a complete waste of casting and it should not have been done. If he plays a bigger role in the next two arcs, then we'll see how it goes.
I think he is. And we're talking about Belgrano, by the way.
If y'all didn't figure that
Jimmy
out.
Smits. Jimmy Smits is the guy that has been playing him. Now Benjamin Bratt was recast due to scheduling conflicts.
And I think also because Jimmy Smits is almost like 70 or 80 years old now too.
Is he really?
He looks aged in Obi-Wan. Like he looks significantly older than he did.
Yeah, no, Jimmy Smits is old now.
Damn. Father Time. I would assume that he has a more prominent role in the next two arcs, considering how he plays with the rebellion and stuff like that. I assume he's going to be more prominent in the next arc, at least. But I've been wrong before. So, yeah, I'll say that.
He's 69.
69. Damn. Good number, though.
Yeah.
Shout out.
He honestly doesn't look like he's aged, but that was part of his complaint was, I'm too old to go back to this character again.
They also never really do much with him when he is. Like Rogue One, he just makes an appearance. Kenobi, he's just kind of there. Like he never does anything. They don't give him nothing to chew on, acting-wise.
That's true. It's not really a role that really challenges you.
Look, he just needs to suck it up. That's all I gotta say. He just needs to suck it up. Yeah, continuity, bro. I need it. Okay.
Now that said, I don't hate Benjamin. You said Benjamin Pratt's his name, right?
Bratt.
Benjamin. Okay. I've seen him in other things, of which I cannot remember off the top of my head right now. I don't hate him as an actor.
Law and Order.
Maybe I'm thinking more
Law and Order.
Not television, but he.
I thought you were gonna say something along the lines of like I was thinking of something like good, and I was about to come through this mantra and slap you.
No, I wasn't gonna hate on it. Oh, that's where I know him from, Miss Congeniality.
I'm just gonna go forward, okay? I'm not gonna say, hey, what I wanted to say.
Back up.
Hey, I was trying to figure it out. Yeah, no, that's where I know him from mainly is Miss Congeniality.
Miss Congeniality. All right, so let's talk about the biggest portion. Or not, actually, I forgot about Valencinta real quick, and then we can jump into the last portion of these three episodes. Valencinta comes in at episode 6. Really didn't have any type of feelings to Cinta dying. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I wish that I did, but I don't really feel anything when she died. She had moments of being a badass, but I feel like that character was just squandered through the first season and up until now.
I think that goes back to it was rushed.
Yeah, we were supposed to have like at least 3 more seasons with her before she died.
We had her for a half of an episode after having only seen her for 2 or 3 episodes.
And out of all the main characters that return, she got the least in season one because after the heist, she's just gone until the very end. She shows back up.
Yeah, she
Well,
shows up on
even
the ship to kill what's his name, and she didn't have a speaking role in that episode,
Yeah, no.
in episode 3, and then now she comes back for half of episode 6, and they have their little love moment where Val had her happy ending that night, and then the next night she had a sad ending.
um I will say this about this show, and I think this is probably one of my biggest complaints, because I have a problem with waste of time. And you bring in Val and Cinta at the very beginning of season 1, which is fine. They wrote it like they're going to be two, not main characters, but prominent characters throughout the series, right? And then we never really see them past that point. We see Val a decent amount, but really she's not doing a whole lot.
She's not even in her role that we initially got her in. She's more of just the concerned cousin.
Yeah, she's more of a Mon Mothma side character after the heist. Yeah. She's just there to help out Mon Mothma's story in season 1.
And now going into this season, Val is just like not even there, to be honest with you. And then Cinta, we've already mentioned her. I think Val is just, to me, has been one just poorly written character. If you had to write a list of things that I would complain about for the show, it would be these two characters, because I feel like it's been a waste of time. We could have devoted this to more of Luthen. We could have devoted more of it to Cassian, which, if we're being honest here, Cassian, considering he's the fucking name of the show, doesn't get as much screen time as I thought he would over these 2 seasons. I mean, he gets a decent amount of screen time, but you would think he would get more. I'm just saying.
I'm hoping it kind of starts to pick up with his character, because, I mean, so far he's played really no big role in either one of these 2 arcs.
No, he's been backseat for both of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about time he steps up.
So how about we stop talking about Val here and move on to more interesting characters, because at this point you've done squandered. Okay, you can't go back, and I don't think there's anything you can do past this point of making her a character that I'm just going to be completely interested in. So how about we just devote that time to, I don't know, other characters that we like, even Martha. Like, we got Mel in this arc. Like, what the fuck? Give me Martha.
Or what about
who's arguably one of the best.
About her. And she's like diehard Luthen follower. So it's like, can we get a little bit about her? Like,
yeah, her too. She's interesting. I liked her in the last episode.
I fell in love with Clea.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She's a savage, dude.
In fact, my notes, it says Clea. Just Clea.
Savage. I will write that in my notes. Like, occasionally I'll just put the name and I'll just put Savage next to it.
Right.
Yeah, man, trying to get the bug is just that was great.
That was a scene, man, where she's sitting there, she's trying to twist off the bug while she's bleeding. At the same time, she's fingering the little bowl, and I'm just like,
she's still telling him the whole story, because she's like, she says to him at the beginning, listen, they make quizzes when they come over here.
Right.
So she's giving off the history while she's sitting there like bleeding, trying to turn that thing.
She was fucking bossing that. She was running the show, seductive and everything, all at once. And I was for every second of it.
And I love the little bit of Luthen that she threw in there. He said, because the old guy was like, what would you have done if I wasn't here?
Anything. Literally anything.
Right. Literally anything. I'm like, okay, then let's fucking go, bro.
and the back and forth between Luthen and her this entire arc, it's like he's starting to panic. He's like, I can't keep track of shit. We've gone too far. We have shit everywhere now. I don't know what's going on. This is all your fault. You're doing this. And she's just like, look, motherfucker, straighten your ass up. Listen to what I'm fucking saying. We have to do this. That is it. It went from Luthen running the show, Clea's running this fucking show now.
And then even after
Yeah.
that, he's like, what do we do if we don't get it? And she's like, then we go down. Like, that's it.
We prepare. We figure it fuck out.
Yeah, I want more of her character. This arc kind of cemented her as like, okay, like let's fucking go, girl. Come on,
she's
come on,
a
I want
player.
some more of you.
Yeah,
player for sure. Oh, show. So yeah, Val. The very end where she's like reacting to the dudes to her.
Yeah, the speech she gives is pretty good. The first one specifically. I don't have to tell you to remember this.
That was a cutthroat monologue.
It's pretty good. I just wish I cared about Cinta a little bit more to make that a little bit more impactful.
Right.
I think, like I said, if you had to write a list, that would probably be number one-ish. Like, I don't have too many complaints with this series, but Val and Cinta would be up there with as my top complaints for sure.
Even like the way they killed her, I kind of thought it was just weird. Just some
off
random
screen.
Again, another off-screen death.
Some dude just comes and wrestles for a gun, and they accidentally shoot her, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, yeah, I don't know where I was gonna go with that. So you start talking, it just completely
say nobody should have guns but us two, and then somebody brought a fucking gun and somebody died from it. But that was one of those conveniently placed at the wrong time at the wrong spot, Primo. A matter of plot convenience.
Mm-hmm.
I know how much you love those situations.
It was quite aggravating. Quite aggravating because the way she dies, actually they kill her off screen. That tells me that you don't value the viewers when you kill a character off like that. It's supposed to be surprising. It's supposed to be shocking. It's supposed to be a tense situation. They're in the middle of a heist of sorts, and you kill a character that was I put air quotes around this, prominent in the first 3 episodes of season 1, or the first arc of season 1. You kill her off screen. That just tells me you don't really give a shit about the character, and you're just doing it to further another character's development. And it's another character that we don't really give a shit about. So to me, this just feels like empty time, empty story. I should say wasted time.
It's not even a surprise. Like when the gun goes off, you know who got shot.
Oh yeah, and she just finished doing a matrix flip onto a transport shuttle, throwing an electric mine, and flying the guy inside, and she couldn't dodge a little laser blast.
If it was a fucking stormtrooper, I never would have hit her.
Not only did she get shot, it hit her straight in the fucking heart.
It was dead on impact. No last words.
Dead,
no
just
nonsense.
Square right here. Like, there's all that space. You have 360 degrees of aiming this fucking gun, and it hits her right in the fucking heart.
Fucking Krennic's over there like, hey, bruh, come join us. We need you.
Right. We need people that can shoot.
Look, like I said, they just don't respect the viewers, and they don't respect the character enough to just kill them off screen. So if it was something important, it should have been on screen. We should have witnessed it. And it shouldn't have been something that, I don't know, when she got shot, Val was right there fucking next to her or some shit like that. That would have been a little bit more impactful. But the way they went about it, it just didn't like it.
I didn't understand it either. So the kid has a gun. Fine. You know what? He wasn't supposed to. Whatever. But why did the dwarf man from whenever they were why did he show up? And they're like, oh, is that a fucking toy? You better give me that fucking toy, son. And then they fight, and then they shoot Cinta, and then the dwarf man shows up and goes, I'll take care of her. And I'm like,
yeah, he's the one that carries her back to the shuttle.
Yeah, I was like, you were just arguing about what they were doing, and now you're like, well, I'll take care of the body. And I'm like,
he feels
you weren't
guilty.
even supposed to be here. Yeah. You're the reason.
Right. Dude, I have a note that says that, like, why? What question mark? And confused? Like, why
Right.
is he now helping them? I was so confused by that.
They could have
Yeah, it
wrote
didn't
that
make any
so
sense.
much better. You could have just had a whole gunfight break out because that kid has a gun, and then that's how she dies. Like,
Right?
why like her getting shot
Like,
randomly because they're wrestling
like,
over it?
yeah, like he's watching guard and he sees somebody, so he shoots, and then all of a sudden the Empire starts swarming and a gunfight happens. And it's like, well, bro, if you didn't alert the entire world with your gunshot, then they would have never come this direction. Not, hey, politician dude just showed up or protester dude just showed up and wanted to know what y'all were doing after your other guard lady helped grandma across the street and find her place. Because that's what happened to that one.
Yeah, they don't even
Yeah.
know where she goes. They're like, yeah, she do large loss.
They're
She's
like,
not
yeah,
opposed.
like that. Is it Cinta that went to go find her, or Val that went to go find her because she went
I
to
think
go
it's
help
Val.
Grandma find her house? Like the whole setup was stupid.
It was that it could have been handled so much better.
That's
My biggest complaint of the series so far is like this whole section.
Yeah.
Which leads us into the next little portion that we're going to talk about. That's the Deidre, Cyril, and the Gormans aspect of this arc. And I will say, I was a little, I don't want to say bored. It kind of dragged for a little bit. But when it started fucking cooking, it started fucking cooking.
It's definitely
And
a slow
I don't,
burn.
it's mainly when Cassian started showing up that I'm like, okay, I'm fucking interested now. But
I don't
also,
know.
sir,
I was
um,
more interested whenever Deidre's just like turn off the lights.
Hey, you called it last
bro,
episode. He
fucking yes.
definitely he takes the commands.
Yeah, I was like, why do I want to sign up for Deidre and Cyril's OnlyFans right now?
She's about to pull out that dominatrix outfit with the whips and the chains, maybe a little pegging involved. Dude,
Right?
and he doesn't even fight her. He's just like, okay.
No, he questions her one time and she said, "I said, turn off the lights," and then click.
They're in that kinky shit, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, the guy that plays Caro Rylands, the lead Gorman dude of that rebellion.
Mhm.
Did you recognize him? The Strain. He was the second in charge dude.
I don't think I ever saw
The
the
German.
Strain.
Oh, you haven't seen the Strain? I thought you did.
No.
Oh, that's a good series, dude. It's a
Yeah.
good series. It's about vampires, by the way.
Okay. I have not
So
seen
he is like, yeah, the Strain is really good. He plays the second in charge dude, so he's kind of like more prominent throughout the series than the main villain, and he is. I'd put him up there as not like top 10 best villains in a TV show, but like he should be in the conversation at least. Really good villain. And when he was in this, I was like, where the fuck have I seen this dude before? And yeah, he was in Strain. Have you seen the Strain, Brandon?
Is that the one where they're stranded in the town and they only come out at night? The vampire people.
Do you realize that doesn't narrow down any vampire
I
property
guess
like
That's
not.
ever?
that's every vampire movie except for Twilight.
I think I have. Isn't it newer? I think I watched the first season.
It was this guy. Is that the vampire show where they like bite people and turn people into vampires?
Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. What I said earlier does not describe Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so does it describe them all?
99% of them, sir.
You know, you know who we didn't talk about this arc? We did not talk about Saw Gerrera at all.
Oh yeah, because he had that one good part.
That one good part. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, not
Kinda bored?
not super invested in it. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to know where they go with that character because obviously in Rogue One, he's with the fucking breathing mask and shit like that. So I'm assuming the shit that he's breathing in is
Yeah, I
going
was
to
gonna say him
destroy it.
huffing the planet of drugs is what he's doing.
Right.
Kills them lungs.
And Saw is such a big character, but I have never seen him in anything where they really do him justice.
Yeah, he makes cameos. Like he's in Clone Wars. He's in the
He's
first
in.
Jedi
I,
Survivor game.
I want to say he's in Rebels
Yeah, he's in
also,
Rebels as well.
but in Clone Wars he's a kid, and like
Yeah,
his
he's like part
sister's
of
really
that.
the
Like,
one in charge.
yeah,
But
I'm very
he's
surprised that we haven't
always
got more of him.
but we get little bits of him, but they never make him who he's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Like
so that's kind of why I
I'm
just didn't
always
mention him.
disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm constant disappointment. So that's why I didn't mention him earlier. Is just I didn't feel like he was worth time. They don't respect my time to give me more shit with him, or at least interesting or compelling shit with him. Then I'm not interested in talking about him.
He
because
was
he's not in
honestly, he was
episode
another
6 at
one of
all.
those. Yeah,
He's
he was
just
one of
a
those
warm
that this
vibe.
entire story could have been cut out.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
The
he
same thing with
served
Val and
no
Cinta. You
purpose.
literally could
Yeah.
have cut all those characters out, and we would be in the same spot.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could have cut Val and Cinta and then just had the Gormans do their own thing after Cassian
And
told
just, yeah,
Luthen,
just have
hey,
it go
don't worry
bad.
about it. Yeah, don't worry. They'll screw it up themselves. They don't need our help. And then let the Gorman people screw it up themselves. And then we get to see Gorman burn very brightly in the year 2 of BB-1.
Yeah, but the Deidre Cyril storyline, which I didn't really catch on to what they were planning, because Cyril doesn't know that Deidre is like doing her own shit, and it involves them like they're allowing that shit to happen so they can have military action and have the reason for it, which I always thought was kind of weird. Like, you're the Empire, you don't really give a shit whether it makes sense or not to have military action. So
I think, well, it comes back to the first arc whenever Krennic was really really happy about his PR video for Gorman. And they were like, we need to cause an issue so that way we can take over this planet and the rest of the Empire be okay with it.
I
And
think
that was when Deidre was like, you need a band of rebels to fuck things up the way you need it to be fucked up. So that way it makes you guys look like the heroes. So this is their, hey, look, these people are stealing Imperial goods to try and overthrow the Empire. We can't have that. So we're going to destroy everybody so that way we can take the minerals off of more. So it's PR is what they're doing right now.
I also think at this point in the timeline, the Empire doesn't have full power to do whatever they want because the Senate still exists. It's not till episode 4 where that gets dissolved and it's just the Empire. So I still think they
Right.
need like a reason to do stuff because the Senate's there that can shut them down.
Yeah. The Emperor does not dissolve the Senate until like 30 minutes into A New Hope.
yeah, true that.
So, but what I was confused
Semantics.
about was, Deidre tiptoeing around Cyril, and I'm like, because they're like, he doesn't know what our true intentions are, and I'm like, every time he's helping you out, like I figured out what your true intentions were at the very beginning of this arc, so I can't possibly see how Cyril doesn't go, yeah, no, we're setting them up so that way we can destroy them later.
He's like a wounded dog, dude, at this point. I mean, the
Yeah,
dude
I
don't-
got
she
bad
says.
mouth and he went on his bed and started fucking
Yeah.
fetal position. Dude,
I
dude's just
don't
he's
understand
just
what
getting a
part
win
of
and not thinking
this.
for himself.
Yeah, I just don't understand what part of this plot is supposed to be a secret to Cyril.
I guess
Or
he
is
doesn't know
something
that they
Cyril
plan on
doesn't
like
know.
wiping them out. He might be thinking they're just trying to get more presence there because he's all for like
Yeah.
Empire governing over
Yeah,
people.
I don't understand what part of it he isn't supposed to know yet, because what's his name made the comment to Deidre, hey, you're walking a fine line. I need to know what each side of the line is, so that way I can keep track and be surprised when Cyril gets surprised.
I mean, I just don't think he's an overly smart character to begin with. He's to this point where everything that he does is based on another character. If we're being honest,
He finds
he doesn't do
Cassian
anything.
pretty fast in season 1.
But since then, he hasn't really done anything.
Since then,
I
no,
was really
nothing.
expecting. I was really expecting the Gormans to try and introduce Cyril to Andor.
I was hoping that would have been cool.
Because has Andor ever met Cyril?
Yes, he's seen him in person because he holds him hostage, and then Luthen's like, just kill him. I'll kill him. And then they use him to do the speeder getaway in season 1.
Okay. Because that's why I was like, that'd be kind of cool if they introduced them at this point and Andor didn't know who he was, but Cyril knew who Andor was.
No, they know each other. It was in the first. It was when they found out who he was and they came to the planet and then he escaped.
But
in season 1,
so Andor would have recognized his face, but would Andor have known like who he was?
That he's like completely Empire. Because at that point he's just part of the security company.
He's part of the security force. Yeah.
He would definitely recognize him. I don't know if he would put 2 and 2 together that he's working for the Empire, though.
That I don't know.
Or I mean, could it be like because just like the Gormans, they thought they were so proud of themselves because they're like, we have this guy who used to be part of the security task force that got fired by the ISB, and now he's our mole.
Yeah, he's our guy.
So if Andor like shows up and goes, hey, that dude used to work for the security force, so like, yes, we actually verified that. And he got fired by the ISB, which is why he's on our side now. Would that have been like Andor just kind of like, okay, but being a little bit cautious around him, or bring Andor completely in on it at that point and being like, okay, cool, this Cyril guy is cool. And then you got Cyril like, Deidre, I got him. I fucking found him. He's here. He's on Gorman. Like, that's kind of what I was expecting to happen.
Sadly, no, sir. Don't think that's what's going to happen.
We didn't get that.
But I will be very happy when that moment does happen before the season ends, because they're going to have to meet up, and Deidre and Cyril are going to have to be bye-bye.
I can't wait to see Deidre walking Cyril on a leash, chasing after Andor.
Go after him, boy. Go. Now, get. Yeah, man. Overall, I thought the 3 episodes were good. I would say that I probably enjoyed it a little. I think I may have enjoyed the first 3 episodes a little bit more than this. I don't know, dude. That stuff with Cassian drug on so long. Now I'm going to put it over. I enjoyed this arc a little bit more than the first 3 episodes.
See, I
think those first 3 episodes were paced a little bit better, but these story-wise were a little bit better.
I think.
Oh, but at the same time, it doesn't have Martha in it. Damn.
You don't have
a lot of conflicting
Martha arc. You have the Bix arc that was really fucking good last arc. Really good. You had the Cyril and Deidre arc, which was really good last arc. This one did not have a lot of good stories.
And yeah, it didn't have a good payoff either. It's a lot of build up, and I feel like a lot of the payoff is next arc.
Yeah, this was all a build up arc. There was nothing that really happened. Yeah. Except for Clea got her hand all bloody and took a microphone. That's the only thing that really happened. And Centra died worthlessly. I
think the highs are higher, but there's more highs. The lows are lower, and the first arc, it has more highs in it, less lows. I don't know if that makes any sense. But now that you're talking about all those, I'm really pumping these 3 episodes up just based on the Cassian and big stuff. Now that I'm thinking about it.
I would agree.
I'd agree. It's still good. Good overall. Doesn't make me not want to look forward to the next 3 episodes, but
I'm definitely
makes me more hyped for him because it's straight just an arc of build up. for the next arc. So it's like, all right, that better be good.
I
This is
am
a
I am
tease.
ready to see Gorman get fucking destroyed next arc. So
I mean, watching those trailers, dude, this series, this season looked like action packed. So I'm assuming all that's going to come in the back half. Yeah.
But I'm ready for that. So if I had to get through this story building pacing arc, then I will. But I am ready for some shit to go down.
My body is ready.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do y'all have anything else y'all want to say before we cut out of this episode? Any final thoughts?
I'm good.
Let me look at my notes.
I'll have to do notes for next time.
Dude, notes are a
Nope, I got 'em all.
lifesaver. Let me tell you.
Nope, we're good. Yeah, it really is, because you really can't keep track, and then you're like, "Oh shit, I forgot to talk about this," and we're talking about a different storyline now. Nope, I got it all. We got it all.
Yeah, especially with it being 3 episodes, dude. I have such a shitty memory.
Yep.
Well, guys, let us know down below what you thought about episodes 4 through 6, how they compare to the first arc. Let us know down below, and while you're there, hit that like, subscribe button. Really helps us out. And then in the links down below as well, we have links to all of our social media accounts, our patreon.com/2game. We would greatly appreciate it if you went there, like, follow us wherever. Would really help us out. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for joining us for this review, and we shall catch you next week on episodes 7 through 9. And that's going to be it from us.
That's correct.
Latest. Yeah, I had to think. I was like, wait, did I fuck that up?
I was like, yeah, 7 and 9. Yeah.
I got so fucking worried. Whew. I am from Mississippi, so I can't count,
Ain't that the truth?
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time. Latest.